Bob Nightengale, lead writer, USA Today, been reading his columns for many, many years, and he joins us here this morning on Big Board Sports 104.5 A Team, ESPN Radio. Bob, Rodger Weiland, Chris Honorado, good morning to you.
Morning, how you guys doing?
Is Bob
We're great, Bob. We're great. Thanks for taking the time.
Hey, Bob. Good. I'm sorry, I had a little hiccup there with my headset. Let's start with this Yankee team. How big of a series right out of the gate is this in Boston, a Yankee team that probably ahead of schedule. I would think Yankee fans are pretty happy with only being 3.5 out and the first half of the season in the books. How big of a 4-game set is this for both teams, and in particular the Yankee team that's 3.5 out right now?
Yeah, I don't think it's that big for the Red Sox, but it is big for the Yankees. I mean, they hit just a tailspin there at the end of the first half. Losing 17 of 23, and they need to have a good series in Boston just to try to stay in this thing. I'm not sure they have the pitching to do so. They, if they're not careful, I can see Red Sox just running away and hiding in this division.
I was going to say the follow up is: do you see the Yankees hanging in this race in the second half?
I don't. I thought the first half was even the things were going well, was a little bit of a mirage just because of their pitching staff. Like, how is this going to hold up? So, no matter what happens, a very good year for them, great sign for the future. But I don't see them, they're not going to mortgage their future and go get a starter or something like that. So I think they'll slowly slip away the second half.
Aaron Judge, Bob, is on pace for 124 RBIs and 57 home runs. Does he come close to those numbers?
I think he could come close. I don't see him duplicating the first half. Just, he's never played this long of a season before. Used to minor league season. Pitchers are going to adjust to him. So I think we'll see a drop off the second half. Then, we'll see what happens next year. It's hard for me to think he's going to hit another 30 home runs the second half and driving those kind of runs.
Bob, Rodger and I had an interesting conversation this week, and Yankees fans over the phone lines crushed me on this, but I disagreed with the idea that Aaron Judge is baseball's best hitter currently. Where do you side in that? Would you say he is or isn't? And if he isn't, who would you put above him as the best hitter in baseball?
Well, I'd certainly still go, Mike Trout over Aaron Judge. And, he's had a great 3 months. We've seen plenty of guys have 3 months. You got to put Justin Turner in that conversation, too. The guy's hitting about 380. And he's had this guy's one of the top 10 players in baseball. Nobody ever talks about him in Turner. But, yeah, I think there's, a lot of guys you can put in that. But it's just such a short, small sample size to say, hey, this guy's the greatest hitter in baseball. This guy's the face of baseball. Just way too early to throw that on him.
Yeah, I'm a big one on we're getting too carried away too early, but Aaron Judge has been awfully impressive in the first half. You look at his numbers and what he's been able to do as a rookie. It is impressive. But in your opinion, Bob, are we way out? Is it too early for you in your mind to give Judge all the accolades that we are giving him right now?
Well, it's nice to give accolades what he's accomplished, but you can't say the face of baseball after 3 months. And let's be honest here, the Yankees are as surprised as anybody there, and Judge is doing this. He almost did not make the opening day roster. They thought Greg Bird was going to be their star, not Aaron Judge. And he's made adjustments, everything else, and a great guy. Fun guy to root for just for his personality. But I think it's way too early to say this guy's the face of baseball. This guy's going to be a superstar. We're only talking about a few months here.
Bob, what caught our attention specifically coming out of the All-Star break was the piece you wrote for USA Today about the potential changes coming to Major League Baseball next season, and that being a pitch clock, perhaps a limited number of visits to the pitching mound, other things that Commissioner Manfred is discussing. And I loved some of the candid quotes you were able to get from Major League players at the All-Star break. Can you tell us a little bit about the conversations you had with players revolving around the idea of a pitch clock and trips to the mound? Well,
the players are definitely against the rule changes, and they've been against rule changes before. They like the second place rule or the home plate, rule. Some were even crazy about replay. And now we're going to get a pitch clock, like it or not. And the veteran pitchers are really against that. Like, hey, what if it's a big moment here and you want to, let your mind take some time before that next crucial pitch. Don't want to be worrying about a pitch clock, whether they call a ball or not. And then, Vincent's and mound. I think we all love it. Late innings when bases loaded, pitcher standing against a hitter. And sometimes, the catcher comes down over there just to kind of change signs or calm the guy down. So I think we're going to see the end of those days. I certainly believe we'll have a pitch clock next year. And the guys that had the minor leagues, you get used to it. So I think the pitchers will get used to it. It's just going to take a little time.
Bob, when will the technology be good enough to have an automated strike zone? I read some comments from Joe Madden this week, and he was all in for that. He said, you know what? The thing that we argue most about, the thing that managers get thrown out of games for and players get thrown out of games for is arguing balls and strikes. Let's eliminate that from the game. Let's put a robot behind there and let's get an automated strike zone. I wonder how close we are to that or if that would ever happen in Major League Baseball.
I mean, I think it will happen one day. I still think we're a long, long way away. I mean, the beauty is the human error in the game, human elements, and that can happen. If you do that, why would you even have umpires for? You might as well take your 4 umpires off the field, and there's no use for them. And also think that sometimes that technology, isn't right. Is that strike zone going to be the same for Aaron Judge and Jose Altuve, adjusting and stuff? I just think we're getting a little carried away with that.
Bob, what do you expect in the second half out of the Mets? I mean, I guess really what I'm asking here is how many players do you expect New York to trade away?
I don't think they'll trade that many. I really don't. I still think they want to go for this thing in 2018. And, they're a funny team. I mean, they got the talent to put a run together and actually get a wild card spot, but you'd have to just go, lights out after the All-Star break, and I'm not sure they're capable of doing that. But no, certainly the free agents, whether it's a Jay Bruce for sure, a Curtis Granderson, that sort of thing, a reliever here or two. But I think that's about it. I don't see wholesale changes. And you
wouldn't forecast them getting rid of or trading any of their top pitchers, right? I mean, DeGrom. How about a Matt Harvey though? Is he somebody that the Mets might want to deal at the deadline?
Well, I mean, who would take him? Because you just don't know how the guy's going to pitch. I mean, so you're selling him about pennies on the dollar. You got to bring this guy back, have him pitch. You want to trade him next July, fine, but you're not going to get anything for him now. Nobody would give up any type of top prospect for him. In DeGrom, I mean, he would get more than any player out there on the trade market. But then what are you doing? I mean, Jacob DeGrom's the type of guy you want to build your franchise around. It would make no sense to even listen to offer for DeGrom. I don't care, what you're asking for. I don't know if there's 2 or 3 players on one team you could give up and get a Jacob DeGrom. I'm not sure I'd give up Kershaw for him just because he's young, controllable, and got a great chance to be a star.
And Bob, let me just clarify. Did you throw out that you still think the Mets second half could, if they play well, and they certainly have enough parts to do that they could be in a wild card hunt?
Yeah, you look at the National League. I mean, obviously, the National League West is going great guns, but they're going to be beating each other up. I still think one of those teams in the West don't make it, either Arizona or Colorado. You look at the NL Central, that thing's a mess. I still think there's a possibility of a free wild card spot. So, but the Mets would have to, go like 9-1 or something out of the gate just to convince ownership, okay, maybe we have a chance here. Let's keep this team intact. It's not like they're going to get a ton of those guys, a ton of prospects back when you trade them anyway. You may get some fringe guys back. It's not like you're going to get some superstar prospects back for any of those guys.
if the Mets play well, that will blow up our theory here this morning. We're not alone that Tim Tebow might see Citi Field. Bob, I hate to put you down this road, but do you think that would be a possibility, Tebow, a September call-up?
Yeah, I could. I really could. He's such a likable guy. The fans absolutely love him. And if the Mets are out of it, I believe out of it, it doesn't make any difference because they, instead of bringing up 35 guys in September, why not have 36? Not saying you play them every day, but you can pinch hit them. You can give them a start here or there. You would have to make sure it's okay with the veterans in the clubhouse, like they're not going ballistic, because it would be taking some time away from some other prospects. But I think the fans will love it, and it's, I'm sure if you do that, you announce to everybody, the fans, days ahead of time, hey, Tim Tebow's going to start on this Tuesday.
Bob Nightengale, you're the best, man. We enjoy your work in the USA Today. Always a pleasure grabbing some time with you here on Big Board Sports on 104.5 A Team, ESPN Radio in Albany.
All right, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.